So what we're going to talk about today is applying for scholarships. Just a couple of thoughts about scholarships, right? People think it's a lot of work, it's cumbersome, a little bit tiring. The reality is you have to look at applying for scholarships like a part-time job. You're going to get, and it has to be an investment in time, right? So, I mean, the biggest thing I always tell people, are you worth investing 30 minutes 3 times a week to kind of change your overall cost of college in the long run? And if you're worth it, then we should start that process so you can learn how to one, find an appropriate site to learn scholarships, essays, reference letters, and the application process, right? So the two sites that I recommend that people go to, one is scholarships.com and two is fastweb.com. And they're absolutely free. You create a profile, there's no cost. And anywhere you go that they charge you for this information, do not use for the simple reason that the information is free in most places you go. You could literally go through your room or your house and say, who makes my TV? Panasonic, Sony scholarships, Panasonic scholarships, and they will likely have scholarships. Tylenol has a $15,000 scholarship. So they're out there. In addition to those sites, in addition to going through your house, if you belong to any community organization, if you go to church, those places most likely offer a scholarship too. So that investment in yourself is about going out and asking and seeking, right? It's like a part-time job. So for example, if you sign up with scholarships.com, there's a process when you sign up, you create a profile, and that profile, based on your likes, will give you recommendations for scholarships that you can potentially apply for. Um, so it's important that you're honest with the profile. So if they ask if for hobbies and they list equestrian as one of them and you don't even know what it is and you click on it and they offer a scholarship, if you can't connect to that scholarship, most likely it's not wise for you to pick an activity that you're not familiar with. But if you are, I mean, there's one for saving the environment. That isn't an essay, it's a picture of an activity you've done, whether it's recycling cans or cleaning a yard or some beach cleanup or whatever the case may be. And that photo is going to be your entry into that scholarship. I think that was like $5,000. The other thing is, don't get hung up on the amount of scholarships. You want to get as many as possible. People put all their eggs in one basket to get a $5,000 scholarship because, well, if I just do the one and I get it, then I'm good. 500 adds up, right? The other thing to consider is this is a process. So there's a lot of scholarships that you can apply for, and you may get for the simple reason that nobody else applied. There's tons of stories of people who were so excited they got a scholarship when they asked them, well, what about my essay? And they're like, well, we had 3 scholarships and only 2 people applied, so you just kind of got it by default. The other thing I would say, if you do apply for a scholarship and you don't get it and you plan to go to school for more than 1 year, save it and think about whatever feedback you got so you can apply the next year, making the changes in yourself, in your studies, or whatever the case may be, to put yourself in a better situation. You already know the process. You should already have a recommendation lined up, all that stuff ready to go. So you can make it easy for yourself. That's where I would start. So this is kind of getting a thought process about how to go about scholarships. In the follow-up videos, we'll actually go to the sites. We'll do the registration and we'll go through the profile so we can get set up, and then we'll organize our scholarships by most likely by due date. So if a scholarship is not due till December and you have one that's just due in July, we'll focus on the July because that's the one that's really going to matter. We'll talk about things that qualify, different types of programs, so you can put yourself in the best situation. Again, it takes time, it takes effort. But if you're going to work a part-time job and you're only going to make 13 to 15 bucks an hour working part-time, or you can interview, but you can prepare for scholarships and do essays and stuff like that, and potentially pay for your schooling, you got to think it's worth the investment. So that's where we'll start, and then we'll go from there.